Sagicor is
7 o'clock. Tonight on CVM News at 7, CARICOM leaders demand regional unity, better connectivity. Regional fight against organized crime, new CARICOM chair shares plans. Christiana Animal Market halted over untagged cattle concerns. In Small Biz, Big Dreams, Cabra Ranch takes goat milk to shelves. And in sports, Jamaican athletes to get prize money for Kingston leg of Grand Slam track before the end of this month, according to sources. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7 for Monday, July 7, 2025. I'm Nika Lewis. Thanks so much for joining us. The 49th regular meeting of the CARICOM heads of government opened in Montego Bay, St. James, on Sunday with urgent calls for regional unity, economic resilience, and better connectivity across the Caribbean. In her final address as CARICOM chair, Barbados Prime Minister Mia Amor Motley urged leaders to embrace regional ferry and cargo air services as practical solutions to the Caribbean's long-standing transportation and trade woes.
If we cannot open up greater supply routes, if we can increase our domestic production, cognizant, however, that we are constantly at risk of the climate crisis, decimating that which we are trying to do in terms of open field agriculture, then we can begin to recognize that we do have the capacity to feed ourselves more. The bottom line is, however, that there are still too many gaps. And the major issue of logistics, I am happy to report that there are at least 2 CARICOM member states that are now in the process of looking to acquire cargo planes to help us overcome the very difficult prospect of the movement of goods within this region.
Motley went further to challenge leaders to find the political will to democratize travel among the island nations.
I anticipate that at this meeting at Montego Bay, we will have the presentation on the inter-island regional ferry from the private sector. And at this point, it is up to us to determine whether we have the political will to finally ensure that we can democratize travel through ships yet again in this region, knowing full well that with the federal maple and the federal palm, there were examples of it many decades ago, and that we have allowed ourselves to become purely at the mercy of air travel without recognizing that as islands in the Caribbean Sea, we have the ability to reach each other in good time and at cheaper fares than if we only use air to connect our region.
She has also encouraged the heads of government to craft a CARICOM validation mechanism to reduce and prevent the flood of misinformation and fake news.
We live in a world now where fake news, regrettably, is a key part of all that we have, and where the improper use of AI can sometimes stoke great fear and panic among our citizens. It is about time, therefore, that we as a region come up with a CARICOM validation mechanism in the absence of the providers of those platforms not taking the action to validate truth any further. And if we fail to do so, we put seriously at risk the stability of our democracies.
While the former CARICOM chair says the region is ready to support Jamaica's proposed Regional Justice and Security Framework Cooperation Agreement, she insists they have a duty to the people to provide safety and justice.
If ever there was a time for us to cooperate as we discussed today on matters pertaining to this, and Jamaica has put on the table a regional justice and security framework cooperation agreement, which I believe the rest of us are ready to engage in, because it is consistent with the Needham's Point Declaration of 2023 that was settled by the Caribbean Court of Justice Academy and the judges of the region. It is consistent with the George Bridge Declaration of November 2024 that was settled by the CARICOM heads of government, and it is absolutely needed by our citizens if we are to see safety be the primary concern of our people, from Jamaica and the Bahamas in the north, to Belize in the west, to Barbados in the east, to Guyana and Suriname in the south.
And Prime Minister Andrew Holness has hit the ground running as he assumes the chairmanship of CARICOM from July to December 2025. In his address, he outlined an ambitious plan to advance security, economic resilience, digital transformation, food security and climate justice across the Caribbean. Under the theme, People, Partnership, Prosperity, Prime Minister Holness highlights strategic partnerships with global allies, a united front against organized crime, and the need for a secure and sustainable future for all member states.
Our chairmanship will focus on delivering a safer, more resilient and economically empowered region. This vision will be driven by strategic partnerships that extend beyond our shores, strengthening ties with our friends in North America, Latin America, Africa, Europe, the Middle East, Asia, and the Pacific, as well as regional organizations, the private sector, and civil society. Safety and security are the bedrock of stability and growth. Over the next 6 months, CARICOM will intensify its efforts to dismantle the criminal networks that threaten our communities and undermine the rule of law. We are declaring a war on criminal gangs and transnational organized crime with a clear message. Their illicit activities and acts of terror will not be tolerated. The escalating humanitarian and security crisis in Haiti starkly demonstrates the devastating ripple effects of unchecked criminality.
Additionally, the CARICOM chair says the 49th conference for CARICOM heads of government in St. James from July 6 to 8 will feature a high-profile security expo focused on myriad matters concerning CARICOM nations.
Comprehensive, collaborative approaches to crime fighting, emphasizing intelligence sharing, border security, and strategic enforcement. Now, as the world grapples with increasingly complex challenges, from climate change and economic shocks to geopolitical instability, our region must build greater resilience. This means advancing the CARICOM single market and economy to secure self-reliance and protect our economies from global disruptions. We will accelerate efforts to achieve full free movement within the region, supporting trade, investment, and economic integration. At the same time, our Vision 25 by 2025 initiative will remain a priority as we work to ensure food and nutrition security by empowering our agricultural sectors to eat what we grow and grow what we eat.
The opposition People's National Party is raising serious concerns about the treatment of Jamaican farmers. General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell lashed out at what he described as a betrayal of the men and women feeding the nation. Akeem Oret reports.
General Secretary of the People's National Party, Dr. Dayton Campbell, is sounding the alarm on what he says is a betrayal of Jamaica's farmers.
We have a parish like Manchester that is known for its agricultural production. And what we have taken place in Jamaica now is a betrayal of our farmers. We have a government in place that has caused our food importation bill to double over the last 9 years.
Dr. Campbell points to the country's ballooning importation bill as proof. He says millions are being spent on goods that could and should be produced locally.
We are importing things that can be produced right here in Jamaica. Northeast Manchester is one of those parishes that can produce Irish potato well. Why is it that Jamaica is not putting our farmers to work to produce Irish potato so we can take that out of the food importation basket? Why aren't we producing enough onions so we can take that out of the food importation basket? When they came to office in 2016, the food importation bill was at $830 million US, and it has now gone to $1.6 billion US. It has doubled under this government.
He was speaking at a PNP rally in northwestern Manchester at the weekend. Akeem Oret, CVM News.
The police have temporarily shut down operations at the Christiana Animal Market in Manchester after uncovering that a number of untagged animals were being sold. The move has sparked concerns among farmers and buyers, while calls grow louder for agricultural authorities to tighten up regulations. Raymond Morrison has that story.
Sales came to a halt at the Christiana Animal Market in Manchester after police intervened, spotting several untagged cattle. Under current protocols, farm animals must be tagged for health and traceability purposes, a standard managed through agricultural agencies. PNP caretaker for Northeast Manchester, Valentin Wint, says the situation is symptomatic of a larger breakdown within the agricultural system, calling on the Ministry of Agriculture and RADA to act decisively.
The purchasers of the animals were afraid to buy because they were figuring that the police may stop them along the road. But what was borne out in that discussion was that many of these persons tried to get tags for their animals, some for as long as 3 years, and still can't get any tag for the animals. Some said 3 months and couldn't get any. So the practice of selling without the tag is something that happens every single weekend. Now, it proves that there's an inadequacy in the RADA department.
Farmers at the market say they want the system to work, but argue that the blame shouldn't fall on them. They claim they've been trying to follow the rules, but are being let down by a system that's not meeting their needs.
They have not been sending round the people to come and tap the animal. No, it is not working. And it's not our fault that it is not working. It's their fault. And they want to put all the blame on us as the farmers, when it is really not our fault. We would like to see the system work. We are cooperating, and the government must do their part and make me see that they are doing their part and don't try to force us.
While the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, has not issued an official statement, it is understood reports on the matter are being reviewed as they consider the next steps. For now, farmers and customers are left in limbo as concerns grow about the future of livestock sales if clear guidelines and support aren't quickly put in place. Raymond Morrison, CVM News.
CVM News at 7 continues after the break.
That you always chosen 50 years.
Thank you, Jamaica, for 50 years of finger-licking good memories. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction, 'cause I'm wiser. One step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music keeps on playing, and the people them I say we are my show tonight. Oh, what a feeling! Don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got a spark, don't fit it down. Shine your lights
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Thanks so much for staying with us. A disagreement over the placement of political flags reportedly resulted in an escalation of an altercation on Saturday afternoon in the Finegrass area of Manchester. Some political supporters of the People's National Party were seen hanging flags on premises outside the alleged permitted jurisdiction. Upon being asked by supporters of the Jamaica Labour Party not to do so, they reportedly left and returned with a ladder, and more problems ensued. Crystal Williams tells us how.
Tensions rose in Finegrass, Manchester at the weekend following a police shooting after an altercation over political party flag placement. It's understood some PNP supporters were seen hanging flags on a private property before being told by some JLP supporters to desist from doing so.
This morning we're out here and we see some PNP man come and they might put up some flags. And we say, don't put none out of the gate. And they start act up and whatever.
Upon being asked by the Member of Parliament on site to hang them further away from the gate, the PNP supporters left. Approximately half an hour later, they returned with a ladder to resume their postings. That's when a prominent businessman arrived on the scene.
Take out the leader and start again. And my brother said, no, really come back here to make problem. And they start dipping at them bag. So my brother run go to house and come back. And by the time he come back, I see them on their phone. And when time we look, we see the police drive in. After the police drive in, then Mr. Grant drive in back. And then they don't ask my brother no question, and just go right up to him and shot him.
She also says the police proceeded to brandish an M16 approaching her son, who allegedly surrendered, declaring he had nothing. Meanwhile, the businessman, a licensed firearm holder, allegedly seized, struck, and pulled a firearm on another of her sons. She says that's when she was told to step back from the altercation and that she was lucky they were outside. The dispute inspired accusations of corruption between the police and the businessman as the incident escalated. Some were left with the impression that the businessman's actions were approved by the police on the scene.
Police are supposed to do the over there, so I shoot man and him as a licensed firearm holder. They right here, a jargon on people, something not adding up.
Crystal Williams, CVM News.
We take a look at the signing of an official memorandum of understanding between the Nigerian government and the Jamaican government in relation to specialist healthcare providers.
Nigeria signed a technical manpower assistance agreement to deploy skilled professionals to the Caribbean nations. As a result, 4 Nigerian nurses who are also educators recently arrived in Jamaica. The deployment of these nurses is expected to fill a gap in the shortage of healthcare professionals locally, especially in specialized areas. Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, says the local team will be trained in mental health, pediatric nursing, and other areas. 200 Jamaicans are expected to be a part of this training in a year.
This initiative represents a powerful collaboration that is aimed at fostering growth, knowledge sharing, skills, and even cultural exchange between our two nations.
Dr. Tufton is encouraging more nurses to get trained in specialized areas to reduce the growing demand.
Now, there's also the other component of clinical rotation where we bring people in to work in the system primarily. This is more sustainable and more beneficial because it means that it will be over a period of time. I want to thank the Nigerian government, the people of Nigeria, and as you know, I went to India and the Philippines to examine the similar arrangement, but today we're witnessing the start of that arrangement. It's another good thing in public health. It's good for the people of Jamaica because it means we can train more.
Giselle Mills, CVM News.
We'll have more CVM News for you right after the break.
Let's spread the word around to let the world know that we are proud to be one. Republic. We on the road to Republic. Well then, let's propel we nation, moving forward in a new direction. True independence, that's the projection. No more dependency, it's the best plan. Yes, we know what's best for us, cause we want we country prosperous. So make we just pull together as the general public, while on the road to Republic. Let's spread the word around to let the world know that we are proud to be one Republic. We on the road to Republic.
A message from the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs.
We on the road to Republic. I'm the one that you always chosen. 50 years.
Thank you, Jamaica, for 50 years of finger-licking good memories. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Ganga and Saga have gone to get Krishna.
Yes. Nira and Jan is in critical condition. We cannot wait any longer. They should come immediately.
Why won't you do the test? Tell me, Kashish, why won't you do it?
Because I'm not pregnant, Ganga. I cannot allow a liar like you to live in my house. Get out of here right now.
The Chaturvedis will never be able to guess who is behind all of this. And hats off to you, Yash.
Yash? Get in the car, then our driver is going to take you straight to your daughter.
Ganga.
Brought to you by
Hyundai or Hyundai.
So glad you stayed. It's time now for social media.
What's getting the most attention online today? New U.S. law imposes a $250 visa integrity fee on top of the $185 visa application fee, making Jamaicans pay $435 for non-immigrant visas. However, visa holders who follow rules and depart the U.S. on time can apply for a $250 refund. Here are some of your reactions. Adamani Shakes says, Canada will be the new main foreign now. At Jessica's Bite of Life comments, there are so many other countries to travel to. It's not fun here anyway. At Miss Keta Post, Embassy line goes can't here now. At Shortgirl2421 writes, and if we don't know anything else about our beautiful Jamaican people, they're going to pay it, and if they continue to increase it, they're going to pay it again. At Dwayne Fun Life adds, this is for all the people who saying, and then me not get my visa. You only pay the additional fee when the visa is granted. Also, if you return home before your visa is expired or you legally adjust your status, you can apply to get that money back. At Rikisha_shares, well, embassy nah see me again. Well, unless somebody a pay it. And that's what's happening online today. Continue to share your thoughts with us on X at CVM TV and CVM_television on Instagram and Facebook. I'm Michael Paul.
We now turn to regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. The government of Grenada has announced the payment of more than $1 million EC in crop insurance premium payment for farmers for the two main commodity boards, the Grenada Cooperative Nutmeg Association, GCNA, and the Grenada Cocoa Association, the GCA. More from GIS News.
The latest injection of over $1 million for crop insurance coverage underscores government's commitment to broader disaster preparedness and climate resilience strategy, which seeks to protect vulnerable sectors, thereby safeguarding the livelihood of farmers across the island. Minister for Agriculture, Lands and Forestry, Lennox Andrews, stressed the importance of this strategic initiative, pointing out that government is committed to ensuring that farmers are encouraged to continue to farm and be confident of their livelihoods, even in the unlikely event of a natural disaster. Minister Andrews further disclosed that government intends to use the insured coverage as a means of direct income support to farmers, as well as crop reinvestment should farmers suffer substantial loss this hurricane season. By providing this financial support, Minister Andrews added, government is equipping our farmers with the tools they need to weather the storm, recover quickly, and continue feeding the nation.
And in international news, hundreds of rescuers have been deployed to search for missing people in central Texas after flash floods killed 51 people, including 15 children. The worst affected area is Kerr County, where 44 people have died and where 27 children remain missing from a Christian youth camp. Here's more from the BBC.
At least 51 people, including 15 children, died when flash flooding ripped through parts of Texas. A frantic search continues to find 27 children who were swept away while staying at a Christian summer camp in Kerr County on the edge of the Guadalupe River. These pictures from the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department show the sheer impact of the floodwaters, with debris strewn across the river as it heads downstream. The Guadalupe River burst its banks during heavy rain in an area near Camp Mystic, northwest of San Antonio. Officials say the river rose more than 5 metres in just 45 minutes. Our correspondent Gary O'Donoghue sent this report.
The torrential rain early Friday morning took everyone by surprise. In some places, between 12 and 15 inches fell in a matter of a couple of hours, as the Guadalupe River rose by 26 feet in 45 minutes, its second highest level on record. Among the terrible devastation wrought by the floodwaters, a glimmer of good news. These people among the hundreds who've been rescued. But for many families, the anxious wait continues, gathered at centres around the town of Kerrville, hoping for news of those still missing.
And that's it for regional and international news.
Thanks, Raheem, and that's it. We take a quick break ahead of more things in the news.
Challenges are everywhere and things are constantly changing, but independent living remains the same. Rising above physical challenges, we can help you do it. For years, we have been Jamaica's trusted provider for solutions to improve patient care, safety, and general quality of life. No matter your age or your physical limitation, we are the caring store, waiting to serve you. It's time to experience independent living. Visit us.
Stop! Shop and roll a RAV4. New thing, new car, life-changing. Stop! Shop and roll a RAV4.
Stop, shop and roll out in a brand new 2025 Toyota RAV4 from Quartz & Quartz Optical today. Spend $120,000 at Quartz or $80,000 at Quartz Optical and you get an entry to win. Shop on credit and get triple entries for a greater chance to win. Plus, there's monthly prices of a TCL 98-inch TV and $100,000 in supermarket gift certificates to be won. Promotion ends July 20. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
From politics to global events, from social issues to breaking news, Lead Story Prime dives deeper, cuts through the noise, and uncovers the stories that shape your world. Join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. for Lead Story Prime with me, George Davis, for an hour of incisive analysis, expert interviews, and unparalleled coverage of the issues you care about. Lead Story Prime, your front row seat to the most compelling discussions. Lead Story Prime, where the truth comes first. Only on CVM TV.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction, 'cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music keeps on playing and the people them I say we are my show tonight. Oh, what a feeling, don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got a spark, don't fit it down, shine your lights
The time by KFC is
7:30.
Let's delve deep into the issues.
we'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's a live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yeah. Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Thanks so much for staying with us. We're now joined by Jordan Fort for a preview of sports.
Well, Nika, there have been some nagging concerns about payments from Grand Slam tracks. Some athletes have even taken to social media to voice their concern about, the delay in payment. But we've gotten some more clarity this evening. I'll provide that for you in sports. Plus, we're talking about the West Indies. They're making their way to Jamaica, so to Australia for the third and final test. It will be a day-night match. But there is some concern about the opening batsman, who is the former captain. His place might be under threat. I'll tell you more in sports.
All right. And so you should definitely keep watching to see what happens next. But a major step has been taken to improve Jamaica's water infrastructure. Ground has officially been broken for the Western Resilience Water Project, a multi-billion-dollar initiative aimed at boosting supply along the island's north coast. Akeem Oret has the details.
With shovels in hand and heavy machinery on standby, the government has broken ground on what it calls a transformative water infrastructure project for Western Jamaica. Minister with responsibility for water, Matthew Samuda, says the Western Resilience Water Project is a bold investment in Jamaica's future.
But the $22 billion that we are underway with now is a subset of what we will do over the next 5 years to improve and building resilience for water supply for some 900,000 Jamaicans.
Phase 1 of the project targets upgrades to key pipelines to strengthen distribution.
This phase of this project will invest 28 billion Jamaican dollars in 2 transmission mains that will move water from the Martha Brae to the terminal reservoir in the center of St. James, which will transform the water supply in Montego Bay and its environs.
The minister says Phase 2 promises even more, including increased capacity and improved water quality.
Phase 2 will see significant increases in capacity and improvements in quality of water production. That will happen with the construction of 2 new water treatment plants, which we have engaged the World Bank for assistance. These will be done through PPPs. That will be done at Rio Bueno and indeed at Roaring River in Westmoreland. So we expect to add water treatment capacity.
Communities and businesses from Western Jamaica are expected to benefit, especially in tourism and hospitality, where the demand for water is constant. Akeem Oret, CVM News.
Member of Parliament for Central Westmoreland, the JLP's George Wright has launched a cleanup campaign targeting garbage pileups in several low-income communities in his constituency. With more, here's Carla Ramdeen.
MP George Wright is voicing concerns about the large garbage pileup in sections of the Westmoreland constituency. Wright told CVM News that he has seen vast garbage piles within several communities in Savlamar, especially near the main receptacles.
Once again, I just want to say to the people of Russia, please to bring their garbage into the skip. You would have to place them in a garbage bag. You cannot just come and throw your garbage down on the ground. Otherwise, the place will be just a mess. It will be a breeding site for roaches and rats. So once again, please contain your garbage, put it in the bin, and let us have a clean community.
Wright says over the next few days, he intends to carry out garbage cleanup in several areas affected by large garbage pileups. One resident from Richie Stevens Lane in the community of Russia, Savlamar, who benefited from the cleanup, shares the Mount Etter Gate has become a health risk. She urges residents to keep the site clean, urging proper garbage disposal.
As you can see, this is at my gate. And rats, everything, cockroach
much everything affect me. And I'm really happy to see what I've done here so today. Because I feel the community this and me appreciate everything because it affects all of us. And please, we have to speak out for our community and each and every one we can keep it clean. Whatever I do here, all of it, right? All of us. So please let us keep this being right here so clean. They say they're gonna put grill on it and I pray God that they do it. Because we need it for the good and in the right way. And community member, please let us pack our garbage in bags so that everything can go right. When the garbage truck come, they can pack and take them away. Because when they come and see it like this here, them not take it up. It really look bad. Look at it. So let us do the right thing.
Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
Stay with us. Sports is next.
Delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yeah.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
This week on Tourism One-on-One, as we examine the growth of the Morgans Group, the local bedding manufacturer, and how they have benefited from various initiatives of the Tourism Enhancement Fund, including through the Tourism Linkages Network.
Now welcome to sports, I'm Jordan Fort. Let's run off with some track and field. Well-known track and field agent QB Sigobin says he's not worried about the delay in payment of prize money for Grand Slam track thus far. Sigobin says he has already received appearance fees for the Kingston leg and is now awaiting prize money for Kingston and appearance fee for Miami. For his athlete Rashawn Clark, Clark got hurt in Miami and did not take part in the Philadelphia leg of the series. Now, reports emerged recently that prize monies remained unpaid for the inaugural series, which ended abruptly in June after 3 meets in the proposed 4-meet schedule. But Sigobin, who has represented several high-profile athletes in the past, says it is not unusual for there to be more than a month delay in payment of prize money from global meets. Now let's get back to that one and tell you that West Indies head coach Darren Sammy has not ruled out dropping former captain Craig Brathwaite